Hello students, this is Taranum Jahan from the Department of Commerce. Today we are going to solve the 12th question from the unit Holding Company. Here is the question, and the question says A Limited holds 80% of equity shares of B Limited. So A Limited has become a holding company, and A Limited is holding a share of B Limited. That means B Limited has become the subsidiary company here. Now A Limited or holding company holds 80% of the equity share capital of B Limited, that is subsidiary company, which was acquired on 31st of December 1998, when the latter company had a credit balance of profit and loss account. Credit balance of profit and loss account. Here credit balance of profit and loss account is equals to profit. Okay, you have to remember this rule, that credit balance of P&L account means you are having profit. So what it says, the latter company, the latter means the company which is mentioned here at the next or the last was B Limited. So B Limited is having a credit balance of P&L account of 15,000. That means pre-acquisition profit was 15,000 and general reserve of 20,000. This 20,000 of general reserve belongs to pre-acquisition period. Now stock held by A Limited. Stock 4,40,000 of A Limited. Stock held by A Limited include 5,000 goods supplied by B Limited. Here stock of 4,14,000 of A Limited includes 5,000 goods which has been supplied by the B Limited to A Limited. Okay. Now as these are the intercompany owing, they won't take any profit. They won't, B Limited can't be earn any profit from the A Limited as it is a intercompany owing. So 5,000 stock held by A Limited include rupees 5,000 for goods supplied by B Limited at a profit of 20% on selling price. Whatever the cost was, the B Limited was earning 20% profit on the same. From the following balance sheet, prepare the consolidated balance sheet as at 31st of December 2000. Now balance sheet is given here for A Limited as well as B Limited. Individual amounts are given here. The share capital for A Limited is 5 lakh and B Limited is 1 lakh, whereas capital reserve is 1 lakh for A Limited and there is no capital reserve for B Limited. But when comes to the general reserve, A Limited is having 1,20,000 general reserve and 30,000 B Limited. In this, general reserve of 20,000 belongs to pre-acquisition period and remaining 10,000 belongs to the post-acquisition period. Then profit and loss account of A Limited is 40,000 and B Limited is 10,000. Here pre-acquisition profit is 15,000. Here credit balance of profit and loss account is 15,000, whereas and at the end of the year it shows 10,000. That means there is a loss. Okay. Then after this, creditors of A Limited is 1,49,700 and B Limited is 36,000. The bills payable for A Limited is 21,300 and 1,000 for B Limited. Then bank overdraft, A Limited doesn't have any bank OD, whereas B Limited is having 6,400 as bank OD. Then comes the asset size. Here A Limited for A Limited freehold property is amounting rupees 2,30,000, whereas for B Limited it is 20,000. Furniture of A Limited cost amounts to 15,500 and for B Limited it's 3,000. Investment of 8,000 shares of B Limited 8,000 shares of B Limited is 1,20,000. See, when we will see here, we will be finding out that total shares in B Limited are 1 lakh. Those are 100%. Okay. Then A Limited acquired 8,000 shares. 8,000, here comes the 10,000 because 10 rupees each, no? So 10,000 shares will get here. 1, 2, 3. So when we deduct deduct these two, we will be getting 100%. When we deduct these two, A Limited is having 80% of share, whereas minority interest is having only 2000 shares, that means 20% of share capital. Okay. Then here is a stock of A Limited as 4,14,000, B Limited as 1,23,000. Next are debtors. For A Limited it is 87,000, for B Limited it is 37,400, and cash for A Limited is 64,500, whereas there is no cash for the B Limited. And the balance sheet total for A Limited is 9,31,000 for assets and liabilities, and B Limited balance sheet total for 1,83,400 on assets and liabilities side. Okay, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to prepare a consolidated balance sheet now. Okay, hope you don't have any doubt in the question. And now we will start with the 12th solution. We will be preparing consolidated balance sheet of A Limited and B Limited as on 31st of December 2000. Okay, here these are the liabilities, then amount, then assets, then amount. Okay, so when we are preparing a balance sheet, we will be writing the first item as share capital. Under that, shares or equity shares at the rate of ₹10 each. Will be always writing the share capital of holding company. After that, we will be writing capital reserve of holding company, that is 1 lakh rupees given in the question. Then next we will be writing general reserve for holding company, that is 1,20,000. Next we will be writing P&L account for holding company, that is 40,000. So after this we will start with our working notes. The first working notes we will be preparing about capital profit. That means this belongs to the pre-acquisition period. This belongs to the pre-acquisition period. So in capital profit we will be including the first item, that is general reserve. Here the share of the general reserve given here is, here we will be saying in balance sheet the general reserve was mentioned as 30,000. Okay, and here the given general reserve is mentioned general reserve, that it says that pre-acquisition period general reserve was 20,000. So general reserve for pre-acquisition period is 20,000, where just now we have seen that A Limited's share is 80% in the company. So in this general reserve also the share of A Limited or holding company is 80%. 20,000 into 80% will be getting here as 16,000. Next item that we will be adding here is a P&L account or profit. Here mentioned here is the pre-acquisition profit is 15,000. Okay, again as usual 15,000, the percentage or the share of A Limited is 80%. When we will calculate, we will be getting 12,000 as the share of profit and loss account for A Limited. Now total it up, we will be getting capital reserve as 28,000. Okay, after that we will be calculating the second item. We will be calculating goodwill or capital reserve. Calculation of goodwill or capital reserve. The first item that appears in the goodwill or capital reserve is amount paid to acquire the shares. Here Investment 8,000 shares we have purchased for 1,20,000. It is not on cost. How did we know that this 1,20,000 is not at cost? Because we have seen that in our liability side that equity share cost rupees 10 each. So for 10,000 shares it is 10 rupees. 10,000 shares is 10 rupees, and the share capital is 1 lakh. When we are calculating with this shares, number of shares 8,000 shares at the rate of rupees 10, that means we have to pay only 80,000, but we are paying here 1,20,000. So next what we have to do, we have to deduct the face value of such shares. कितना face value है? So 8,000 shares at the rate of rupees 10 each means it comes to 8,000 only. Then what will we doing? We will be adding the 8,000 shares at the rate of rupees 10 is 80,000. Then we will be adding the capital profit to it. The capital profit of A's share is 28,000. 80,000 plus 20,000 total comes to 1,08,000. So now here again we have to follow a rule which we have learnt many times, that when amount paid is greater than face value, we will be reaching goodwill, or if the amount paid is lesser than the face value, we will be reaching the capital reserve. So here amount paid is greater than the face value. The face value of the share is 1,08,000, but the amount paid is 1,20,000. That means A Limited has made more payment than the cost. That means amount paid is more than the face value. So we are reaching here a goodwill amount. Goodwill will appear on the asset side. So 1,20,000 minus 1,08,000. 1,20,000 minus 1,08,000, you will be getting here goodwill of rupees 12,000. The next item that what we will calculate here is the revenue profit. Revenue profit, and this revenue profit belongs to the post acquisition period. Now the first item that appears here will be a general reserve. Here general reserve given in the question is 30,000, out of which 20,000 belongs to the pre-acquisition period. So I'll write here because you won't get confused afterwards. 30,000 minus 20,000, general reserve is 10,000 for the post acquisition period. पोस्ट एक्विजिशन पीरियड के लिए प्रॉफिट, जनरल प्रॉफिट कितना, जनरल रिजर्व कितना हो गया 10,000. आउट ऑफ दैट 80% बिलोंग्स टू द A Limited, that is holding company. 10,000 into 80%, you will be getting here 8,000. Okay, the next item that we will write here is a P&L account. That is P&L account. Here when we see our question says that credit balance for the pre-acquisition period is 15,000 and the profit at the end of the year is 10,000. Okay, that means previously it was profit of 15,000, then we got a loss of or we can write it as 15,000 profit minus 10,000. We are bearing a loss of 5,000 here. 5,000 loss we are bearing. So when we are sharing the profit, we have to bear the loss also. Then out of this 5,000 loss, 80% of the loss share belongs to the A Limited. 5,000 into 80%, we are getting a loss of 4,000. So general reserve amount we have 8,000, we are bearing loss of 4,000 rupees from this. That means we are deducting whenever we got the profit we have added, now we are getting a loss here, so we will be deducting. that means हमारे पास 8,000 रुपये जनरल रिजर्व के हैं, लेकिन इसमें से हम जो हमारा लॉस है 4,000 रुपये वो डिडक्ट कर देंगे, एंड वी विल बी गेटिंग हेयर द अमाउंट ऑफ 4,000 ओनली. अगर प्रॉफिट है तो ऐड कर लेंगे, लॉस है इसीलिए डिडक्ट कर रहे हैं. 8,000 माइनस 4,000 विल बी गेटिंग 4,000. देन वन मोर थिंग, जैसे कि हम लोग लास्ट प्रॉब्लम में करे थे, वी वर डिडक्टेड द अनरियलाइज्ड प्रॉफिट फ्रॉम दिस रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट. तो यहाँ पे भी इस प्रॉब्लम में भी हमें ये दिया हुआ है, इट इज़ मेंशन्ड दैट स्टॉक हेल्ड बाय ए लिमिटेड, यानी कि जो भी स्टॉक है ए लिमिटेड के पास, उसमें 5,000 रुपीज़ के जो गुड्स हैं बी लिमिटेड से ख़रीदे गए हैं. तो बी लिमिटेड ए लिमिटेड को अपने गुड्स बेचे, लेकिन ये इंटर कंपनी ओइंग होने की वजह से हम इस पर प्रॉफिट अर्न नहीं कर सकते हैं. लेकिन जो भी अमाउंट जो भी स्टॉक ऑफ गुड वो लोग बेचे, उस पर कितना प्रॉफिट अर्न करने वाले थे वो लोग, 20% प्रॉफिट वो लोग अर्न करने वाले थे. तो यहाँ पे हम क्या करेंगे, कैलकुलेशन करेंगे. हमारा फोर्थ वर्किंग नोट रहेगा कैलकुलेशन ऑफ अनरियलाइज्ड प्रॉफिट ऑन स्टॉक. ओके, यहाँ पे कितना स्टॉक हम लोग कितना स्टॉक बी लिमिटेड ए लिमिटेड को सोल्ड करें, 5,000. ओके, तो यहाँ पे 5,000 का जो स्टॉक सोल्ड करे उस पर कितना परसेंट प्रॉफिट अर्न करे वो लोग, 20%. तो 5,000 इंटू 20%, 1,000 रुपीज़. ये 5,000 के गुड्स के ऊपर 1,000 रुपीज़ प्रॉफिट अर्न करे वो लोग. जब प्रॉफिट अर्न हुआ ऑफ 1,000 रुपीज़, इसमें से 80% किसका हिस्सा है, the profit which is earned on the stock sold, that is 1,000 rupees. out of that 80% belongs to the A limited, यानी कि प्रॉफिट में 80% हिस्सा है A लिमिटेड का. तो 1,000 इंटू 80% कितना हो रहा है, 800 है ना. ये अनरियलाइज प्रॉफिट है, यानी कि ये प्रॉफिट अर्न नहीं हुआ. हम लोग यहाँ पे लिख लिए, लेकिन ये प्रॉफिट अर्न नहीं हुआ. तो ये प्रॉफिट क्या करेंगे, हम यहाँ पे डिडक्ट कर देंगे, माइनस अनरियलाइज्ड प्रॉफिट ऑन स्टॉक. ये 800 जब यहाँ पे डिडक्ट करेंगे तो हमारा फाइनल नेट रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट कितना आएगा, नेट रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट विल बी 3,200. नेट रेवेन्यू प्रॉफिट विल बी 3,200. सो last working note what we have to calculate here is a minority interest. Last item what we have to calculate is here is a minority interest. minority interest में first item क्या रहेगा, शेयर कैपिटल. तो यहाँ पे हम लोग देखे अभी थोड़ी देर पहले कि आउट ऑफ 10,000 shares 8,000 has been taken over by A limited. minority share कितने हैं, 2,000 shares at the rate of ₹10 each. that means 20,000 has to be paid to the minority interest. Then we will be adding capital reserve. It is not a reserve, it is a capital profit. कैपिटल प्रॉफिट यहाँ पे देखेंगे, कैपिटल प्रॉफिट में जनरल रिजर्व था 16,000 का, जिसमें से 20% हैज़ बिन टेकन ओवर बाय द ए लिमिटेड. सो यहाँ पे 20,000 में से 60,000 निकाले तो कैपिटल रिजर्व में 4,000, यानी कि रिमेनिंग 20% इज़ द शेयर ऑफ माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट प्लस प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट. और आउट ऑफ दिस 12,000 हैज़ बिन टेकन ओवर बाय ए लिमिटेड. सो रिमेनिंग बैलेंस इज 3,002. सो कैपिटल प्रॉफिट टोटल कम्स टू 17,000 फॉर माइनॉरिटी इंटरेस्ट. नेक्स्ट वी विल बी एडिंग द next we will be writing revenue profit. So revenue profit means again profit belongs to post acquisition period. Here is the profit. General reserve for post acquisition period is 10,000 and 80% has been taken over by the Out of this 10,000, 8,000 has been taken over by the A Limited, so remaining here is a 2,000 that should be taken over by the minority interest. So here comes, so here is the total 20,000 plus 7,000, 27 plus 2, 29,000. One more item that we have to write here is deduction. As we have deducted the loss from the revenue profit of A Limited, we have to deduct the loss of this revenue profit P&L account from the minority interest also. Out of this 4,000, the loss of out of this 5,000, 4,000 loss has to is bared by the A Limited. So remaining 1,000, the P&L account loss, P&L account in bracket loss, it should be paid by the minority interest. So it comes to 1,000, 29,000 minus 1,000, 28,000 is the final figure for the minority interest amount. Okay, hope you don't have any doubts in the working notes. Now come to the balance sheet. We will be writing all the items in the balance sheet one by one. The first item that appears here is a general so here on the liability side we will be writing the revenue profit, which we have calculated here as 3,200. okay, revenue profit 3,200. When we go to our balance sheet given in the question, we will be seeing the next item which we have to write here is a creditors, and the total amount for the creditors 1,49,700 plus 36,000 comes to 2,23,000. It is not 1,85,700. The next item that appears in our liability side is bills payable. This bills payable, and the amount of bills payable for A Limited is 21,300 plus 1,000 for B Limited. Total comes to 22,300. The next item that appears on the liability side from our old balance sheet or given balance sheet in the question is 6,400, a bank OD. Then the last item that appears in our balance sheet is a minority interest, and the amount of minority interest what we have calculated here is a 28,000. Then we will be writing the asset side. Here it is. The first item that appears in our balance sheet from the balance sheet on the asset side is freehold property. We don't have any adjustment here, so 2,30,000 plus 20,000 comes to 2,50,000. The next item is furniture, and the furniture amount is 15,500 plus 3,000, total comes to 18,500. The next item is stock. Here we have to see the stock of A Limited is 4,14,000 and B Limited is 1,23,000. So the total stock comes to 5,37,700. Now out of this what we have to deduct? We have to deduct unrealized profit, and the unrealized profit is 800 rupees. Out of this we have to deduct this 5,37,000 minus 8,800, you will be getting 5,36,200 as the final amount for stock. Then the next item that appears in the on the asset side is debtors. Here comes the debtors, and the total is 87,000 plus 37,400. Total comes to 1,24,400. And the last item that is appearing, sorry, not actually last, cash is 64,500, and the last item will be goodwill, which we have calculated here. we did the second working note, calculation of goodwill or capital reserve. We have got the answer as goodwill of 12,000. Goodwill will appear on the asset side that we are writing here. So all the items are done here. Next we will be calculating the amounts total. Here 5 lakh plus 1 lakh and 1,20,000, then 40,000, 3,200, 1,85,700 and 22,300, 6,400, and the last amount is 28,000. So total comes to 10 lakhs 5,600 on the liability side. On the asset side, it's 2,50,000 and 18,500, then 5,36,200, then 1,24,400, then 64,500. The last item or the amount is 12,000. Here comes the total of asset side, that is 10,05,600, and our balance sheet tallied here. Hope you don't have any doubts in this working note as well as in the consolidated balance sheet preparation. If you have any doubt, you can raise your doubts in the Google Classroom or in a WhatsApp group. I'll be clearing your doubts there. Thank you very much, and take care of yourself. Stay home, stay safe. Bye girls.